Hi guys, this is George back here with another video, and welcome to my Nemesis Reborn VIP experience behind the scenes tour video. So in this video I'm going to talk all about this brand new experience that the park are offering. I'm going to get to go to walk up the lift hill, see in the tech bunker, take loads of photos around the ride and go for a full tour around this ride. So yeah, this is a new experience for this year, a new VIP experience. It costs £90 per person, so it's expensive. However, what you do get with it is quite a decent amount. So not only do you get the tour of Nemesis Reborn, so you go up the lift hill, you go right by the maintenance bay onto the brake run, have a look around in the station, and also underneath the station in the tech bunker as well. As well as that, you also get express car parking for the day. You also get a Nemesis Reborn fast track to use, a one-shot fast track. You get a pin badge and a certificate as well once you complete it. So for the price, you are getting quite a lot. Like let's think about it this way: express parking, you'd normally be paying probably about 15 quid for that, I think it is, something like that. 8 quid for a pin badge they'd normally charge at the Merlin parks, and then for the fast track, that a one-shot fast track, that would be another 10 quid. So already that's building up to quite a decent amount. So even just with those bits, and that's not even including the actual behind-the-scenes tour of this ride. So with this, I'm not going to be able to take loads of videos throughout. I'm not going to be able to use this camera. All of the photos and videos I'm going to take on my phone and then I'll put over it. I did my Hyperia VIP coaster climb the other day at Thorpe Park, and with that I waited till I got home and sat down and did a full review about it and put all the photos and videos and clips of it that I got over the top of that. So I'll do something similar with this. So I'll walk around the area. I'm going to use my fast track now. It's about 15 minutes till the ride closes, and then I'll talk all about the experience. So yeah, I'm going to go for a couple rides. It's absolutely dead. I don't even need the fast track, but I'll use it, and then hopefully I can get run around in the queue and get another ride, and then yeah, I'll talk a bit more about the procedure for starting this experience. I'll also be filming a full park vlog tomorrow as well. There's lots of updates to cover around the park. I literally arrived here about an hour ago. I drove up here this morning. It's about a 3.5 hour drive for me down south to get up here. So yeah, I'm here for the last couple hours of the day. I'm going to be doing my behind the scenes tour, and then tomorrow I'm going to be on the park all day. But here we go, 5-minute queue for Nemesis. Absolutely perfect. I'll hopefully get a couple rides with the fast track. So I had 2 rides on Nemesis Reborn there. The second one was on the final tray of the day in the front row, which was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I haven't been on the front row for Nemesis Reborn for quite a while, so it was really nice to get back up there. Like the views you get from there are amazing, seeing the track in front of you, and it is really intense up at the front as well. That was amazing. I feel like the more I ride this ride, the more I start to love it. I've always loved it ever since I first rode it, but I have always found it quite overrated. However, it is a fantastic ride. The more I've ridden it as Nemesis Reborn, the more I've started to like it. I think it might be my second favourite coaster in the park now after Wicker Man. Before I had it much lower down. Where before it got reborn into Nemesis Reborn, I even used to put Galactica above this. Since it got turned into Nemesis Reborn, I have always put this above Galactica. However, now I think I do prefer this to the Smiler as well. It is absolutely fantastic. So I'm now here at the VIP behind the scenes meeting point. As you can see, we've got the sign just here. So this is where you come, just outside the exit of the ride, which is there. And then you've got the sign just here as well. So basically you meet here 45 minutes after the park closes, where your VIP host will come and collect you. So there we go. I don't understand why it's like with Thorpe Park and their coaster climbs, you meet 15 minutes after park close. 45 minutes seems quite a long time to be just standing around, especially considering it's not as if there's any rides open or anything. Like, what, we just stand here for 45 minutes? Yeah, it seems bit of a while to wait, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be a fantastic experience. Of course, I can take as many photos as I want. However, there are going to be points where I can't take photos, like in the tech bunker. I don't think you're allowed to take any photos. But then I also can't take loads of videos as well, especially with this camera. It's only going to be my phone that I'm taking up there in the pouch that's provided by the park. So yeah, I'll get lots of photos, and then I'll get a few video clips as well, and then I'll talk all about my experience after it's finished. Okay then, so it's been a few days now since I took part in the Nemesis Reborn VIP experience, and I'm going to talk all about my thoughts of it and the experience now. So of course we started off by heading to the meetup point, which you saw in the last clip, where then at 4:45, I couldn't remember when the park closed then, yeah, 4:45, so 45 minutes after park close, the VIP hosts came to collect us. And then we got taken down to like the big eye, where this the part of the station where the big eye is, in the 0G role, where they gave us an introduction, as well as that they gave us a little safety briefing as well. So they talked about all the different rules and what we were going to be seeing on the experience, where we were allowed to take photos. There were some parts of this where we weren't allowed to take photos. So I'll talk about that when we get onto it, but of course just going through all the procedures that need to happen to make sure that everyone is going to be safe throughout the experience and no one's going to do anything that they shouldn't be doing. Of course, we then had to sign the waiver, pretty much saying we've listened to the rules, we understand the rules, and we're not going to break any of the rules. So just a quick signature for that. While it was going around and being signed as well, they did a little quiz. It's like they have loads of different questions about the ride they can ask. It's like a little Nemesis Reborn quiz. So that was fun. It's like they asked a few questions to the crowd while we were all signing. There was a group of about 15 of us, a little bit less than that. So yeah, you can have quite a lot of people taking part in this experience at one point, because then we got taken into the station where we got split into two groups. So of course it started off with around 15. We then got split into two smaller groups, so about half in each group, and we then did the different parts of the experience in a slightly different order. So it's like where one group is at one point, then the other group will be taking part in a different part of the experience. So my group started up by heading up the lift hill first. So we all went in the station, got into our groups, and they split us into two different groups, and we then started to make our way towards the lift hill. So of course, as we were walking there, they were showing us all the tech of the ride, like all the anti-rollbacks and all the sensors and the heaters and stuff on there, talking all about that. Of course, to get the wheels themselves, the drive tyres that actually lead the train onto the lift hill. So then we climbed up the lift hill, of course, which was a really good experience. As much as Nemesis Reborn doesn't have a lot of height to it, you can still get some really good views from up there, of course, looking down towards the pit, because of course this whole ride, like back when this ride was built in 1994, they used TNT to blow up the landscape to be able to fit this ride in. So of course, as much as you're not very high up off the ground going up the lift hill, you can look down into the pit that Nemesis Reborn is in, and you get some really nice views of the elements. Basically they talk to you about the lift chain and all the technology behind the ride, very detailed in terms of all the tech behind the ride. Any chances we wanted to take photos, it's like they let us, it's like, so they do all their talking first, and then it's like, right, now you can just take as many photos as you want. So they let us do that. If we wanted to have any photos taken, then they were fine with that. So there was a little platform where you could have a photo with the loop as well, a really nice view towards the loop. So I had a photo there, which was really good. You can get some amazing views of the rest of the layout from up there. It was actually a lot better views than I was expecting it to be, with it not being particularly tall. And as much as Nemesis Reborn doesn't have a lot of height to it, I believe it has, it takes you about 42 feet actually off the ground. But in terms of the actual drop length itself from the top of the lift hill right down into the valley, it's about 130 feet, I think, from what they were saying, which you really wouldn't expect. Of course, with this ride, it gradually gets further and further down. It's not like it's not like a big first drop. It's like a gradual descent as you go further and further through the layer. You're gradually getting further and further down into the pit, and then of course you get to the fastest point of the ride, which is just before the vertical loop. You go through the vertical loop, and then gradually it's making its way back up again, slowing down as it makes its way to the brake run. So yeah, it's a very unique layout for this ride, and that's what makes this ride so special. And of course they were talking about how this ride was designed, and of course in 2024, when it reopened as Nemesis Reborn, there was lots of new theming pieces around, and extra support was added, and as well as that they needed space for the equipment, the construction equipment, to be able to actually rebuild this ride. So they used a technique called hydro blasting, I think they said it was, where they use water which travels at a really fast, I can't remember exactly what speed they said, but it travels travels at a really fast speed, and that makes it strong enough to be able to cut through steel. So they actually used that to be able to cut through the rockwork when it was rebuilt, so they could fit construction equipment in and to put the new pieces of track in and the new theming around there, rather than actually blowing it up like they did when they first built the ride. They used a different technique because, of course, the neighbours at Alton Towers really didn't enjoy when they were blowing up the pit for Nemesis Reborn, and they didn't want to do that again and upset the neighbours even more. So that's why they used the hydro blasting instead, which was really interesting to hear about. We then got to the top of the lift hill, where they started talking to us a bit more about the ride history when it was being built. And of course, John Wardley, the designer of the ride, had a photo up at the top of the lift hill when it was completed, and he had his photo there. So then we all got a chance to have a photo there as well, like recreate the photo that John Wardley had from up there. So that was really cool. What was really interesting with this as well is that you don't actually need a harness to go up Nemesis Reborn's lift hill. With all the coaster climbs I've done at Thorpe Park, of course I've done the 3 at Thorpe Park that they offer, and you wear a harness for all of those. With this one, you don't actually need to wear a harness. So as long as they ask that you keep your hand on the rail at all times, but other than that, you don't need a harness at all, which was really nice. It was nice not having to wear that. And of course, we got to go right off to the edge to take our photo by the lift hill. It was really weird. It was like starting to go towards the downward slope that leads to where you would actually drop off. It's like, it felt really weird going over there without a harness. It felt like you shouldn't be doing that. Obviously, it's completely safe, and obviously you don't go too far, but then you can stand there, have a photo. So that was really cool. That was a brilliant experience. We then started climbing back down the lift hill again, which was very easy compared to Hyperia, which I did a couple days before, like literally. I think they said there was 144 steps going up Nemesis Reborn's lift hill, but yeah, with Hyperia it was 364. So, and obviously with Hyperia it was much steeper as well. Obviously, if you do have problems walking up steps, Nemesis Reborn could still be a little bit difficult. There was one person in the group that didn't feel comfortable to carry up. We went up a little bit of the lift hill, but then he didn't feel comfortable to carry on with the experience, so he let one of the VIP staff members know, and they took him back down. So if you do at any point feel uncomfortable, just let them know, and they'll be happy to accommodate with anything that you need. But yeah, that's another thing I want to talk to you. The VIP hosts were absolutely fantastic. Loads of information and facts that they shared with us. Happy to answer any questions. Really friendly as well. I was really impressed. So we then went back down to the bottom of the lift hill, where we then went back into the station, and we all gathered around the op booth. So we weren't actually allowed in the op booth. However, we were allowed to just stand outside it and look through the window. So then when we were looking through the window, we had one of the VIP staff members in there, and he was showing us all of the different things in there. It's like showing us what everything did and how they used it and what everything was. It's like, of course, you have the main operators panel, so they talked to us about that, all the CCTV cameras, all the other tech that helps run the station, and with all the air gates and pressing all the buttons and stuff. So they were talking to us in detail about that, which was really good. The other group then came in, and they started to make their way up the lift hill, and after that we then made our way into the tech bunker. So this was the point where we weren't allowed to take any photos. So yeah, they want to keep this one as a bit of a surprise for when you actually do the experience, and this was a really cool part of the experience. So of course we went out of the station and down the steps into the tech bunker, which is right underneath the loading area for Nemesis Reborn, right underneath the station, and it was fantastic in there. There were loads of different pictures from the construction of the ride from in 1994 and also 2024 as well. They had like a cabinet full with like a Nemesis archives kind of cabinet. They had like pieces of merchandise in there, some of the stuff they used for marketing. It's like when they did the advert for Nemesis Reborn, you had the security guard on there called Percy, and of course that's part of the story in the area. It's like there's posters everywhere saying like, where's Percy? And of course from on that he got swept up by the Nemesis creature, and he dropped his torch and his hat as well, and then he got taken onto the ride, and while he was on the ride he had his AirPods in as well that fell out, so they're all in this case. You've also got one of the bolts in there as well. They sold a lot of the original Nemesis Reborn bolts, but they've got one in there as well as a couple of other ride parts in there. There's some coaster wheels in there as well, which you get to see laid out on a table, and there's information about where they would go and how they run, which is really interesting. Loads of different posters telling you the story of Nemesis, from when it first got built, and then to when it needed to be retracked, and then from when it opened. There was like a whole poster, there was like a whole big board talking about the story when it was first built and how it was designed. Then there was another poster next to it which talked about when it was closed during the year of 2023, when it was closed and people got to go on the observation platform. There were photos from the reconstruction of it, and then also there was one for 2024 as well, when it reopened again and everyone got to go back on it, and there were loads of photos from the opening day. And there was also a section on there about the Phalanx Expo, which was the fireworks display last year. That was obviously a big part of the story last year that tied in with Forbidden Valley and Nemesis Reborn, so I really liked that. As well as that, you got to see all the tech under there that makes everything work, so that was really cool. Yeah, there was so much to see in there. I really did enjoy it. I wish I could have taken photos in there, however it is understandable why, because to be fair, like having that as a surprise going in there, it does make the experience more special. So like if you are doing it, then you don't really know what to expect as much, so I did really like that. That was probably my favourite part of the experience. We then went back up into the station where we got a chance to ask more questions. We had a look at the air gates and was walking like right underneath the track, which was really cool. And then for the final part of the experience, we were taken out to the brake run where we got to walk around there for a bit. There was obviously barriers where it's like, don't cross these barriers, but apart from that, just wander off, go where you want. We had some photos with the train in the maintenance bay. There was also the other train which was parked right at the end of the brake run, so we got to go over towards that. Of course, there was a barrier preventing us from going too far, however we were able to get quite close to it and take some photos. And as well as that, we were able to get really close to the final inversion as well, which is really cool. Obviously that's another area to be careful of. It's literally a straight down drop into the pit from there, so you be careful there, but you can get some really nice photos and close-ups of that final inversion, which is really cool. I did really enjoy that part of the experience. And as well as that, more chance to ask questions. If at any point you have a question and you want to ask, then yeah, they'll happily answer it. But it's like they'll talk to you all about the train design and the maintenance bay and how it's taken off for the end of the day and when it's brought back on again. So yeah, that was really interesting. Overall, there were so many different facts to hear, so much information that they told us. They were really friendly, really informative, and overall I did really enjoy the experience. Of course, it was £90 to do it. Would I say it's worth it? Yes, I would, because of course not only are you getting the actual behind the scenes experience, which was fantastic, but you also get the pin badge, the certificate, the fast track, the express parking. As much as I didn't use the express parking because I was staying in the hotel, so I got the parking at the hotel as well included, but if you were going just for the day, you do get that express parking, which is really good. As well as that, with the fast track, it was absolutely dead. I literally barely skipped a queue at all for it, but the fact they give it to you is still a nice part of the experience, and if it was a bit busy, then that would definitely be useful. However, I was very satisfied with the experience. I really enjoyed it. I had a great time. Got to see loads of different things on there, take loads of different photos and videos on there, which of course you've been seeing throughout this review. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. If you're booked onto it, you're gonna have a great time. If you're not booked onto it, I definitely think it's worth it. So I would definitely recommend having a look and getting booked onto it if you feel that this is something that you would be interested in. But yeah, I was really impressed with the experience, really enjoyed it. But that's now the end of this video here. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at George Kelly and follow me on Twitter at George Kelly. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe everyone, and I will see you all later. Bye.